Hello guys, it is the Gaming Weasel back again with another Warframe main build video. In today's video we're going to be covering Ashe and Ashe Prime and their Blade Storm builds. Now, I did cover Ashe in a previous video. It was a Jatka tag build or a Fatal Teleport build, but this is a main build for Ashe. Almost everyone, if not everyone, uses Ashe for his Blade Storm ability, which is his fourth ability. Now, one thing that you have to keep in mind is Blade Storm's fourth ability also corresponds, or I guess has an effect with his melee weapon. So depending on what melee weapon you're using, the damage is gonna scale with that. I mean, the damage is mostly gonna stay the same, but if you have a better melee weapon, the damage is gonna be much higher. Now, one thing that you have to keep in mind, I usually use the Galatine Prime Jatka tag, Skindo Prime or Zenistar with Ashe, because they usually have pretty high damage output, so it makes him that bit better. Now, the build that I'm going to be using, there's one real build that I prefer you use, and it is this one, not that one, sorry, this one. It is going to be Steel Charge for the aura, because of course melee damage is important. Power Drift, Transient Fortitude, Intensify and Blind Rage for power strength. Streamline and Fleeting Expertise for efficiency, because you're going to need that. Continuity or Prime Continuity for that extra duration for your second ability. Vitality for survival ability, and Prime Flow for extra energy or flow depending on what you want to use. Now, one thing that you have to keep in mind, 3 of my 8 mods are not maxed out, so Blind Rage, Prime Flow and Vitality are not maxed out for me. Now, imagine if they're maxed out, you're gonna see all these blue stars filled out. So just imagine they're filled, and what they're gonna do is just make the stats a little bit better. I mean, nothing really complicated. Now, if you go to the abilities tab, now actually casting the fourth ability isn't gonna actually use any energy. Tagging enemies will. Tagging enemies per tag, you're gonna waste 6.6 energy or 3.3 if you are cloaked. And it almost has 9,000 damage and 50 meters range, which is pretty goddamn good. I have to say, 50 meters is not that bad for his ability, without considering you don't have stretch equipped. Now, his second ability doesn't last long. It lasts around 3.2 seconds, which isn't that bad, but it's not really good. So Prime Continuity will help with that a lot. So let's just go in here. What we're gonna do is we're gonna simulate 8 enemies. We're gonna simulate them at level 120. Now, realistically, you're gonna come across these enemies in a really rare few situations. For example, maybe in sorties. Well, most likely in sorties or some other place with high level enemies. Now, it's gonna take them out in two, I guess, 2 waves. So I'm just gonna tag all of them, and I think I did. So as you can see, it's gonna go through the first wave. It's gonna take half of their damage off and almost all of it, and second wave, and then it just kills them. As you can see, that wasn't that slow, and it didn't waste that much energy. Now, what we're gonna do is gonna summon level 70, for example, and it's gonna clear them out pretty goddamn quickly, because they are, I guess, a usual tier of enemies that you're gonna come across. Now, these are Grenier and they don't have the best armor, but they do have armor, so you have to keep that in mind. So what I'm gonna do is just to make it easier on myself, I'm gonna climb here and I'm gonna cloak myself, and I'm gonna tag all of them and click number 4, and as you can see, it's just gonna take 1 wave of my clones to kill them. So as you can see, that was pretty goddamn fast. That took around maybe 5 seconds, or I guess maybe a little bit less, a little bit more, depending on how you look at it. So that was pretty goddamn good. I think this is a really fun build for Ashe, and I personally do like it a lot. It's really just fun to play around with Ashe and his fourth ability. Now, as you can see, they, again, just demonstrate how good this build is. Just eliminates enemies pretty goddamn fast. Now, if you're using the Jatka tag, the explosion should be here if you have the mod Vulcan Blitz, and we're gonna test that out just in a second. So do that and summon these enemies. So, considering I don't have that much energy left, I'm just gonna cloak myself and tag all of them. So, as you can see, there is no explosion, but it does kill them at almost the same rate as it does with the Galatine Prime. So, a good weapon, a good melee weapon, and this build is a really deadly combination. So, thank you guys so much for watching. This has been the Gaming Weasel. A like, a comment, and subscription would be greatly appreciate it. I do appreciate that a lot on this channel. And yeah, that's been the Gaming Weasel with Ash Prime. Comment what you think about the build in the video description, sorry, the video's comment section, and I'll see you guys on the next one. The Gaming Weasel over and out.